Hi, I'm Serena Simmons and welcome to 8 More Psychology. Today we're going to be looking at 4 things that you can do to overcome your feelings of imposter syndrome. So before we delve into today's video, which is all about imposter syndrome, I just want to tell you a little bit about where it came from. So it might surprise some people that the term imposter syndrome has actually been around for quite some time. It was a term coined by 2 psychologists in the 1970s, and that was Pauline Clance and Suzanne Eames. They were researchers in the area and they happened to notice some things that were popping up in the research. They noticed that with particular groups of people, they noticed a sense of not being able to live up to others' expectations. They also noticed that these people tended to think that anything they achieved was down to luck and not specifically down to any experience or qualifications that they had. They also personalised mistakes. Anything that happened in their vicinity, they would almost take complete responsibility for. Interestingly, in their research, they found that these feelings were most likely to occur in these types of people. People for whom success came quickly, first generation professionals, people with high achieving parents, members of minority groups, and students. I am sure that if you've experienced feelings of imposter syndrome, I don't need to tell you what this is. So this is really for you if you've not heard of it before, or maybe again you can relate to what I'm about to describe. So essentially, imposter syndrome is when you feel like you are going to be found out, that you're an imposter, that you shouldn't be doing that thing that you're doing. And this is usually associated with some particular job role or a role where there are expectations of what you should be doing. You'll have thoughts like, who am I to do this? Am I qualified? I'm a fraud. I might get found out. People will know I can't really do this. Funnily enough, other phrases that are used to describe this are the imposter experience or fraud syndrome. Now, although we don't focus specifically on imposter syndrome per se, we do look at that feeling of feeling like an imposter in the 8 model when we look at your beliefs. We're interested in this because when you are wanting to change or move forward, and that often means doing something that you've not done before, like starting a business or having a new job or going for a new career, these feelings of feeling a fraud or feeling like an imposter can really hold you back. In other words, and it doesn't really take a genius to figure this out, there is a really big cost to feeling this way. Now, what I want to do today is to share with you 4 things that you can do to start to address these feelings if you've ever felt like an imposter. The things I'm going to be sharing with you are just what I would look at here at 8 Model Psychology, so they're not prescribed and they will probably not be anything that you would go through with another coach or a therapist. They're really just what we look at here at 8. So what I do suggest you do is, if you want any particular help on this, if this is really hindering you and it's actually stopping you from really moving forward and causing you great anxiety or distress, then do seek a professional to go through this work with you. The other thing to say is, as I said before, you can just Google the term and there's lots of really good anecdotal advice out there. So I'm not going to go through the basic advice. Like I said, this is very ape specific. So the first thing that you can do is to reframe your experience. In other words, if you're feeling like, oh, I could be found out, I don't really know what I'm doing, they might know that I can't actually do this job, let's just step back and actually reframe what's going on. It's normal to not know everything when you first start a job. It's normal to have to learn as you go. In fact, I don't know anyone who's ever taken on a job where they know the job inside out and back to front and hit the ground running. I see this all the time in my teaching at university. The really conscientious, good students often feel really bad and almost feel like an imposter in their position because they don't know how to do something. I often have to remind them in that situation, you're here to learn how to do that. I don't expect you to know off the bat. Well, the same goes for any job that you have. There is an expectation that you will know some things in order to do the job. It's probably why you got it in the first place. But there will be an awful lot that you'll learn while you're there. That's a reframe. Tip number 2 is to stop comparing. This goes back to a video I did before. In fact, I did it last week, and that was on what you should be doing. A lot of these thoughts and feelings come from the fact that you're comparing yourself to someone else in that position who is already maybe doing the job, and therefore you're thinking that you should match up to them and what they're doing in that role. Who is it you think you should be? What should you be doing? You can only be you in this situation. So again, just to kind of take a step back and to notice when you're actually comparing yourself can help you again with part of that reframe, and that can give you a much more positive mindset and allow you to step into what you're really good at doing. Tip number number 3 is to surround yourself with the right people. We look at people a lot here at APES, so to some degree I mean to surround yourself with people who are positive, who actually hold you up instead of pulling you down, and actually tell you that you can do it. But on a purely practical level, I also mean to surround yourself with mentors and other people who've done the role that you've done. Now, what you don't want to do in this situation is to start comparing yourself to them. You want to choose people who are positive and are there to support you in your journey and who encourage you to do it your way. But essentially, it's really powerful to choose really good mentors who are there to support you and to help you do the best job that you can do. Tip number 4, and I've kind of alluded to it already, is just to stand back and assess the situation and notice really what you're good at. There will be a reason that you got this job, and it won't be because you told any lies or you blagged your way in. There'll be skills and knowledge and qualifications that you have, and that indicates that you got there on merit. What are your strengths? What do you think you're really good at? Think for a moment that actually they are some of the reasons that you're in this job in the first place. I hope that you found these tips useful. Like I said, these are very much the things that we would look at 8 Model, but if you do feel like you're really struggling with this, then I would seek some professional advice. And the other thing is just to know that you're not alone. Interestingly, if you go online, what a lot of current research indicates is this is often an affliction of high achieving females. It's not to say that men don't experience this, because they do, and you will see men who feel like they're imposters as well. But I have to say that anecdotally, in my own practice, most of the people I encounter who show signs of imposter syndrome are high achieving females. Like I said, all I'm saying in that basis is know that you're not alone. It's very easy to slip into this way of thinking and to feel that we don't deserve to be somewhere when you really, really do. And don't forget that. I hope that you like what you've seen this week. If you do want to see more, I really encourage you to go over to the main website, which is 8modelpsychology.com. And there you'll find a plethora, if you will, of videos and information, and we're just about to launch some really exciting events. Also, do click on the link below to subscribe, and that way you can get this wonderful information in your inbox every single week. Bye!